boy. Hi, boy. Hi, boy.
In regards to the meteor shower that has a lot of people freaking out about. So let's go ahead and listen.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I just did what an AI can't do. Okay, 10 events in March, and that's not including some of the significant events that have been posted to the American Meteor Society database, which we'll look at next. You go down here to February, 2 events. You skip January completely, and then in December, 4 events. That's actually, 2 more than average for this database going back to 2018. Point is that this isn't that common, and we're now seeing a huge surge in sightings. We can look at our American Meteor Society database. Oh, here it is. So here's the American Meteor Society database, and key thing to look at here are the events and the dates and times for that, and then the number of reports, okay? Because some of them just get 5 people, 2 people, right? Those aren't going to make that NASA page. Doesn't mean it didn't occur, but it's more likely that it may have been smaller. But when you get a big fireball, people see it. I mean, they're like driving down the highway and they think the world's ending because they see this mother come in. And like, in Ohio and Texas, they heard a sonic boom. Germany, like it rattled houses. There was a shock wave created by the explosion of it. In Ohio, that thing was 6 feet across and weighed 7 tons. That is the estimate. Exploding with the force of 250 tons of TNT. In Texas, it is 1 foot across and exploded with the force of 26 tons of TNT. Both of them creating sonic booms. So Ohio one bigger. Like, it's getting pretty big, 6 feet across. Tunguska with Russia back, I believe, in 1906. Probably 1906. That was like 60 feet across or so. And well, there's much bigger out there. But that could have leveled.
As you guys can hear, my little quackpacks are on their way. They're en route.
Would not be good. Let's just say that. New York.
I swear, this weather has been crazy. Like, Mother Nature is on menopause. It's like, girl, get it together.
149 reports. There, this is the 24.
Yeah, right now it's big news about this whole thing with with the meteors that people were seeing. So a lot of people were like definitely freaking out about it. And I don't blame them. I mean, you don't know what's going on, so I could see why you'd feel like, I don't know, like something's up,
50 range, which are quite significant. This video that I showed you here, let me pull it up. This video I showed you here is specifically this one right there, 30 reports, okay? So 30 reports for this, the last one. Well, that's a big fireball, folks. Now, it's not as long-lived, like 5 seconds as some of the others.
It's my duck storm, in case y'all don't know.
Like, wow,
he is my little baby. He's going into the tub.
At 5 in the morning. Who's seeing that? So there is some bias here in terms of when it's coming in.
He's a big boy. He's bigger than my other duck. My other duck is Shadow, which is also a boy. He's a lot smaller. He looks like a typical ruined duck. And then we have Jujubee, who has like a little afro, but right now it's growing in because it's mating season, so the boys are kind of going nuts. Then we have Raven, who she's like a scratch kind of duck. She has like black and white. She's so pretty. But yeah, we have both male and female ducks, and right now they're all just kind of, you know,
normal meteor stream, okay?
they're all going into the tub right now for their tub time.
We have Orion, okay?
See, this is him, his Shadow. Like I say, he's a normal male duck, like regular duck.
December 13th.
Out.
You, in general, are out at night. Dark sky.
Shadow didn't like that. He's like, get me off camera, guys. I am not a star. I am not a toy.
You know, that basically look like this, flying out every now
and then. Like, I am not playing this game with y'all.
In San Diego, you know, there's some light pollution there, but it was like a quick, bright blue light. It was not a fireball, but it's like, whoa, okay, like that's a really nice shooting star. Some of them, of course, are just like a microsecond. That was like a good, all right, we got something. Not a fireball, though. This is what is very common with a meteor stream, is you get these sort of events. You can have bigger chunks in there, which then can create these fireballs, but you need a big enough size for a fireball. Most of these, for example, are going to be like the size of a pebble. Like, really, like a very tiny, tiny pebble. You can get a fireball, though, from something that's 2 inches across.
Okay.
So now we're talking
let me show you guys this video.
5 centimeters, right?
That one's kind of getting boring.
Business leaders, meanwhile, warning AI.
This is in regards to population collapse. CEO sounds alarm, skilled trade job market. I recently had a friend ask me, like, where do I think would be a good boom in the market? Like, what kind of field he should go into? And I was saying, it's really up to him. But I told him, you can't go wrong with trades, because I believe trades right now are such in the gutter that they need a lot of people. So I told him, personally, I think that's where the money's at, especially for a guy. And so I told him, you know, definitely like plumbing, welding, masonry work, electrical, HVAC. I told him these are all good paying jobs and definitely something he should look into. But with AI coming into the mix, I mean, a lot of jobs, I don't think trade jobs would be on the chopping block, but who knows? We'll watch the video and we'll find out. So we'll see what it says. But I would think that they would still be around compared to other jobs.
AI could shake up the job market. Demand is surging for skilled trades like plumbers and electricians. Entrepreneur and CEO Daniel Priestley says blue-collar work has been devalued.
Blue-collar work has been devalued. And we've seen people who work with their hands and people who turn up to your house and fix your house in a devalued role. And it could be in the next, couple of years, these are the roles that are elevated the most, and that plumbers regularly earn more than lawyers, simply because the nature of the economy has changed.
So Mike Rowe is here, CEO of the Mike Rowe Works Foundation. Mike, good to see you. So why are we seeing this?
I like that guy. He's from Dirty Jobs. I remember when he's on TV.
AI.
It's math, mostly. 5 retire, 2 come in. That's how it's been in the skilled workforce for the last 12 years. We're aging out. There's a real demographic problem, both with
construction's another good one too,
and a general population collapse. The other half are the stigmas and the stereotypes and the myths and the misperceptions that have conspired for a long, long time to keep a whole generation of kids from giving those exact jobs there an honest look. You put those two things together and then sprinkle the AI on top of it, and suddenly the crisis is existential. My foundation's been beating the drum for 18 years, but it really does feel like a memo has gone out to the C-suite. That guy is not alone. I just sat next to Larry Fink at BlackRock at an internet summit in DC. It was packed. Half the cabinet was there. And I'm telling you, if there was an alarm bell, they'd be ringing it. We got a $10 trillion infrastructure build on the horizon. We've got no, we simply don't have the workforce to get it done right now.
We don't.
The grown-ups are paying attention.
It's a very popular thing on social media for moms to show them at home doing their laundry, cooking dinner, and saying, I've been told AI is going to take my job. Where are they? This is more from Daniel Priestley on demand for blue collar versus white collar workers. Listen.
Lots of young people who should have been plumbers, electricians, and concreters and bricklayers went off and became got a master's degree in the mating habits of butterflies and some random degree that doesn't have a job attached, and they ended up in 67.
Yeah, that's the problem. You have people going to school for nonsense degrees, So you have people going to school for like an art degree in, I don't know, like let's throw out something crazy in, let's say, spiritual dancing. And it's like, what is that going to do? Like, what is that supposed to mean? Like, I understand going to school to become a doctor, like an obstetrician, surgeon, going to school for nursing, like those jobs I get, going to school because you need to be a lawyer and you need to know all the laws, like totally get that. But I think going to school for an art degree in something useless is not going to get you anywhere. All it's going to do is kind of pile up bills on you. That's all it's going to do. So it's a job it's not even a job. Like, what do you do with stuff like that, But yeah, I think, at first, when people were younger, you were told to go to college because back then we didn't have the rigorous market that we have nowadays. So, people went to college in order to get a better job, to become like a CEO. So they would do business, accounting, yada, yada. But now the market has been flooded, and so you have people going to school for all kinds of stuff, but stuff that's not even relevant. And they just continue to go to school and continue to like lop on degree upon a degree upon degree, down to getting a doctorate in, like, let's say the mating dances of bees and, figuring out the genders of bees. And it's like, that's what your thesis is on? Like, how is that helping humanity, guys? So yeah, it's ridiculous, but let's keep watching the video.
$80,000 worth of debt to get this degree that no one was asking for.
So are people going to wake up to this? Look at the rising demand for jobs like robotic technicians, up 107%. HVAC engineers, up 67%. I hear about that all the time. Construction workers, huge demand as so many are renovating their homes in the age of not being able to get into a new one. Welders they need, electricians. Will people see this and say, all right, maybe that's for me?
Yeah. Look, the sad truth is sometimes things need to go splat before the country really starts to pay attention. But it's not like flipping a switch. People get the memo at different times. Gen Z's paying attention. They understand $1.7 trillion in student debt is held mostly by them. And they're looking at a guy like that making 130 grand a year with no debt, and they're doing the math. But it's like turning a tanker around. It takes a long time to change perceptions. I'll tell you this. We've been doing this for 13 years, our work ethic scholarship program. We award scholarships specifically to men and women who want to learn trades like that. This year, we got 10 times the number of applicants that we did the year before. And we have literally, at MicroWorks, set aside $10 million to help train the next generation of skilled workers. What I think you're going to see in the coming months is lots and lots of big companies funding organizations like my own and lots of others who are doing this important work. But it's going to be a groundswell. The entire thing, in my estimation, is going to flip. Also, what Priestley said just now, I said that exact thing 10 years ago and was basically patted on the head and dismissed as kind of an elitist. I'm not taking a victory lap. I've never been so sad about being so right, but the numbers don't lie. That guy right there holding that welding torch right now in certain parts of the country is making 130, 140 grand a year. Electricians in Plano, Texas are making 230, 240,000 working in data centers. I see them every day. I interview them all the time, and my foundation does what we can to train them.
It's an incredible story, and you're a huge part of that story. You can give yourself kudos. You've been on this for a while, and you've got the Mike Works Foundation. You are inspiring so many to look at this as an opportunity for them, and that demand is there. I mean, if you stop and talk to somebody you see in the trades, I do it, how you doing, how do you like the job? They're seeing so much demand and so much work, they've got to turn down opportunities because there's just so much pent-up demand out there. Mike, you're the best. Thank you so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a high need for people in trades, and I think a lot of more people should actually be trying to go for them instead of just, going to school for a nothing degree, Like I said, I understand certain degrees that you go for, like I told you, like doctorate to become a neurosurgeon or whatever. But I think other degrees are just utterly useless, and I think people need to stop going for these type of degrees. Because I think at some point you're going to have to really kind of take a look at what your life is. And I think, definitely people should be encouraging people to go and maybe go to school or not school, but go into a trade. Because I know for most trades, you can go and be what is that word called? An apprentice. And you can make buku money as an apprentice, and then you can end up going as from there you can go as, once you start graduating, you go up and up and up. So I think that's definitely something people should really look into. So, that was definitely something I recommended to my friend because he was like, oh, I want to go to school for, what you do. I want to be a data analyst and, but I want to kind of go through it fast. How can I get there? And I was like, well, you need to get experience first, you're not going to be able to just go to college and then walk right in and say, here's my degree, give me a job, and I want buku money. That's not how that works. So right now we do the PDX. They are currently live streaming at the ICE facility. So I figure we can kind of see what's up with that.
Pretend to give a shit about the homeless. They're trying to get on his model for grift because they realize their current model for grift isn't working anymore. Because they're all getting in trouble and can't come down here anymore. Welcome in, everyone. Yeah, exactly. Very Dahlgren-esque. And I hate that guy. The way he tries to spin his stuff is that I wasn't really committing fraud. I was just trying to test the system to prove how easy it is to commit fraud. It's like, yeah, and we caught you. The way that you're supposed to do that stuff if you're looking for a fraud in the system is let us know when you find it. Don't commit it yourself, and then don't tell anyone, and then wait to get caught.
Yeah.
Like dumbass.
Mm.
Okay,
True.
good. Looks
True.
like Snake Trade Corner is completely fucking cleared out at the moment. Not a single loser in sight. It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It's nice to come down here and not see MAGA.
Oh, he's one of those. I tell you guys, I like to have both sides of the aisle when we're watching lives because we can see what the left is thinking, and then we can see what the right is thinking, and then we get to decide what we feel we align more with. And it also helps because it allows us to see who's BSing us. You know what I'm saying? I will own what I say, and 9 out of 9, I will not regret what I say. Will I learn from what I say? Sure, but I wouldn't regret it. I mean, I said it, I did it, whatever. Let's move on. But that's just me, guys. It's a pretty chill night for a Friday night.
Alright, gotta get this set up over here.
I know Tommy was live earlier. I think he was giving out
but I should be back
food and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Looks like this guy is gonna be coming down.
Sorry for the goofy angle there until I get it all set up.
See, he's at the Portland ICE facility.
Oh yeah, no, those are still up. Those are definitely still up. So, and when they say that they doxed Tommy and posted his phone number, no, they didn't. That's the business office for the place that runs his thing. So that's what cracks me up. And that's like the Portland non-emergency line. So when they block it out and say that we dox their phone numbers, that's a lie. Because that's all just public numbers for non-emergency and housing. That's why it cracks me up when they're like, they put our phone numbers on it and shit. It's like, no, we didn't. They put our addresses on it. No, we didn't. And I say we collectively because I'm not one of the people involved in making those, but. All right, that should be set up for now. And then I will be back in just a few moments.
And so I guess he's ending his stream. I think it's funny that they're like, oh, we didn't dox people. They are notoriously known for doxing people. We've actually seen it. Now, does that mean him in particular? Probably not. But that doesn't mean that people don't do that on the left. You know, we definitely know that they do. So let me see if I can find other stuff for us to watch. Because, you know, like I said, today is a pretty chill day. Which I'm surprised, because usually by this time, we usually get all kinds of shenanigans going. But as you can see, it's pretty chill. Let's see what's going on with Tim.
Good, bad, and everything in between. But a lot of people have figured out how to monetize and make it hum.
Yeah. I mean, the monetization on X is, there are good things and bad things about it. Because you do see people trying to make more nuanced posts with intelligent takes. But you know, there's still the situation where it's like you get some kind of slop picture or whatever, and you make a dumb comment and it goes viral for some reason, or you just say something that's controversial and people are just like, oh. Some of the biggest posts that I've ever put, it ends up like breaking kind of out of my bubble, and it goes into spaces with people that strongly disagree with me, and then the replies are just a never-ending stream of criticism and telling me how stupid I am. But it's like, I mean, you made me a boatload of money this week, you know. So that happens regularly too.
Well, that's why people screenshot folks when they want to rip on them, so they don't get any benefit from the share.
Yeah.
But I think that people that put content out there, if X is making revenue on it, then that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, I've had friends that played Major League Baseball, and you talk about some of these players' salaries. Well, if they're contributing to the team's bottom line, then of course that's your share of this. But I think that people game the system. People are quick they don't want to do their own research. I say it all the time. We have more access to information than any people that have ever lived before, but less discernment than any group of people that ever lived before. All this stuff is out there to research and analyze.
Yep.
Even electoral forecasting, which I do.
Yeah.
How are the midterms going to go? Well, I've got 92 years of history that can tell you how they're probably going to go.
Democrats
in the House,
Yeah.
Republicans in the Senate, narrow majorities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Democrats are going to use the subpoena power to the most extreme degree imaginable, and Republicans are going to go, whoa.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
Yep.
Unfortunately, they're going to sit on their
Democrats are gonna take the House.
behind.
Do you think that they're actually going to start just doing all kinds of impeachments and stuff? Do you think that that's on the table?
Honestly, I think what's going to so the fight isn't over. You know, I think if you're a Republican or a Trump supporter, of course you want to do everything possible to keep a Republican majority. But the damage is already done because people disengage during primaries, which is the time to get rid of these useless exhibits. So really the best you're going to get is really the same we have now. But I think in the long run that Democrats taking the House will arguably be a better blessing for the American right than the Republicans holding it. Because you're going to have Trump's economy will probably turn at some point. It takes a long time to turn an aircraft carrier around.
Yeah.
The Dems are going to abuse the power. And just like in 23, when Trump had done 2 years of being blamed for J6 in elections.
It's going to unify the right.
People's short memory spans are going to come into play here. And all of a sudden, if Trump's economy turns, then you're going to have in 2028, everybody's going to be running Republican again.
This happened in 22 with DeSantis. He starts rising up, and then you get the DeSantis faction and the Trump faction fighting. And then once we get closer to 24, everyone started uniting again. So here we are. Everyone's like, oh, the coalition is fractured and things like that. Like right now, After the Democrats win in the House and they start just beating the crap out of people, then you're going to get the right rallying against a shared enemy.
It's a no doubter to me. I'm not worried about the midterms. You know, people need to start getting involved in the process and putting forward regular people that can raise funds and run for office. Until then, we're going to have people like John Thune punch out like we did here on an Easter break.
But it's always going to be. I don't think we ever change this, to be completely honest. Like, let me clarify. I don't think in the short term we change this. In the long term, maybe things will change, but if you're once you get to that level of power, you know, the amount of work you have to do to maintain that power, you're not going to swing one way or the other. You're going to just float. You don't want to be rallying anybody. You'll draw attention to yourself. Marco Rubio is doing real well in the polls by kind of just being quiet. He's doing his job. He's not fighting anybody. He's not posting and saying things like F the Democrats or whatever. And it's doing well for him. I mean, I like it, to be honest.
It is.
Yeah, I think that the 2028 nomination contest is going to be interesting.
You know, I thought would be interesting is seeing
based on being the VP right
Rubio maybe
and
a
market for anybody
Brian
else. I think you have to have a real
Brian
collapse
Donald's
in the administration for the
ticket.
next few years. And
I
don't
think that
too
might
many
be
people
interesting.
want that to happen.
Yeah, right now the prediction markets have it almost tied, Rubio and Vance. I mean, Vance is at 37, Rubio's at 26. My bet's on Rubio.
I mean,
Tucker Carlson.
There's talk. There is talk.
My bet would be on Rubio, actually. I'm not telling anybody to make any bets. Just don't.
Well, the best bet out there is Susan Collins at 27% to win the U.S. Senate in Maine. She is going to win.
Yeah, I don't imagine that.
She ran 40 points to the right of Obama in 08 in Maine.
Yeah, and Graham Plattner's terrible. Plattner's the guy she's going against, right? The guy with the Nazi tattoo?
I don't think that's decided yet. Janet Mills, the governor, is also running. So I have a feeling.
So this is that's the nominee. Do they have the actual Maine race? Let me just type in Maine.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, wow. So it's not that they have the Democrats winning Maine at 71.7%. Is that what you were referring to?
Yes, and Sarah Gideon was the Democrat challenger to Collins in 2020, winning every single poll, literally, and Collins won by 9 points.
Wow.
So it's simple. Maine's 2nd district up in the north is very Trumpy, and Susan Collins wins that and does better with the Bostonite voters down in the south, and there's your election.
Interesting.
Yeah, well,
I think that demographic of voter likes to sound like, hey, we vote for both parties up here and we're fair.
Let's jump to this next one. Let's talk about Black Snake. We got this from Outkick. J.K. Rowling reacts to HBO's Harry Potter race swapping controversy. Incorrect. She did not. She reacted to the trailer, and in response to it, someone said the trailer's going to Harry Potter looks bloody marvelous. Can't wait. Neither can the rest of the world. Just it's going to be incredible. I'm happy with it. She did not directly address Black Snake, but I love that they're doing this because it changes Harry Potter fundamentally in so many ways. So Hermione Granger is going to be mixed race, giving Mudblood a new meaning. And Snape being black changes everything. There's this funny quote from the book where Harry Potter's mom is like, you know, what is it about Snape that, you know, you won't leave him alone? And James Potter says, it's nothing about him other than that he exists. And so everybody's like, oh, man, if they follow the book to the T, it's going to be about Harry Potter's white supremacist dad picking on the black kid and his mom, who, despite knowing the black kid her whole life, refused to date him. Before it was just like childhood friends and she chose the jock instead of the nerd. Now it's a race thing. And then the other thing that's funny is in the first book, they constantly accuse Snape of trying to steal the Philosopher Stone, Sorcerer's Stone, depending on your region. And it's going to be really funny when, like, the kids are like, Professor Dumbledore, it's the black guy who's trying to steal everything. And he's going to be like, no, that's racist. Don't say that.
It's going to be an absolute mess.
I don't mind race swapping in some circumstances. Like, some people have said Idris Elba should not be James Bond because James Bond's white. And I'm like, no. Idris Elba can absolutely be James Bond. He'd be fantastic. I don't care about his politics or whatever. But he is built. He could be a James Bond character. I have no problem with that. I also respect people saying, we want a traditional Englishman to play James Bond, to which I say, fair point. So I'm like, I think if you're talking about a British spy, Idris Elba's fine, but I do get why you'd rather have an Englishman who is traditionally Englishman, a white guy. But I'm not going to get all that bent out of shape. Now, Anne Boleyn, when they made Anne Boleyn black, I'm like, come on, guys.
Nobody had a problem with Nick Fury when Sam Jackson was Nick Fury.
Nick Fury in the comics, I believe they had different races.
Yeah.
Nick Fury was originally a white guy with like a buzz cut and or a flat top or whatever. And then they actually planned this. They're like, hey, in the future, we want Sam Jackson to be Nick Fury, so let's make Nick Fury in the comic black. But Sam Jackson's awesome. He's a great Nick Fury.
He was great.
And that's a made-up character. I will say this. Make new characters. You don't need to race swap characters. Like
you don't even need to make new
Let's have
characters.
Iron Man be a black girl. And,
Comic books have
Williams, and it's like,
several different heroes and villains to choose from.
Like they didn't make Tony Stark one day wake up as a black girl. Miles Morales is a parallel Spider-Man, but they actually did the parallel Spider-Man stories, so I don't really care. But I like the Miles Morales character. It's fine.
He's actually Puerto Rican.
Who's supposed to be like a hook-nosed,
so he's supposed to be like
gangly,
black mixed with Puerto Rican.
He's like an underground.
Which you can totally tell with just the last name alone that he's Latin.
I also love how he desperately wants to be the defense against the dark arts teacher. It's just like there's so much buried racism that are adding to the story by making this character black.
General question: is this a remake?
Yeah, well, technically, yes.
Okay, are they going to remake all 7 books?
I don't know if it's fair to call it a remake because it's a book and they did an adaptation and they're doing another adaptation.
Which they screwed up because they said they were going to stay to the original source,
left a lot out. The idea is with this new HBO series, they can keep a lot that was left out in the books in the actual story now. I'm going to be honest with you. I am not going to watch it. And I read the first book when I was a little kid. I think I was like 4th grade. Read the second book right when it came out. I was eagerly awaiting each book, excited as a child. I remember when they announced like the final book will be coming out. I remember when there was that controversy where someone standing in line at a bookstore screamed, Snape kills Dumbledore, and everyone started screaming. The video went viral. And
could you?
Bro, reading the Half-Blood Prince at the end.
That's crazy.
And everybody was speculating, like, why did Snape do it? And there were theories. It was so much fun. And then the last book came out. When the movies came out, a lot of people don't understand that flight was actually a really big deal for Death Eaters. And at the end where he's like, let's do it together, and they jump out. It's all for the movie, and it omitted so much. Like Avada Kedavra, for instance, in the books, when they hit you with it, your life is gone and you collapse. In the movies, they get blasted back 20 feet. In the movies, Harry casts Expelliarmus, which always just makes your wand fly to your hand. But Draco goes flying back 20 feet and crashes on the ground. Right?
That they would use that was like the killing
spell. Stick to the actual books. That being said, I can
Which
tell you all about Harry Potter because I grew up with it, and I will not watch this.
I read those books over 9/11. They got me through. I used to work 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. at Ground Zero, and I would read Harry Potter all night. The great story. Almost everything about that story is great. I only read like 6 books of the 7, except for that stupid game Quidditch that they play.
Yeah, which made no sense.
It's the best game ever, and then one guy catches a ball and the entire game ends, and everyone goes home.
Incorrect.
You're like, what?
You clearly have not read the books.
If someone catches the golden snitch, the game ends and that team wins.
No, incorrect.
They get 200
points.
points.
I believe it, correct me if I'm wrong, it might be in book 4, in which they explicitly have a Quidditch match, it might be 5, where they say, we are currently down by 170 points. If you catch the snitch now, we lose.
Oh, you'll get 150 points or something?
And then the game is over, and if you are down, you lose. So this meant that the rival team scored 17 goals. The difference was so great that at that point they could not catch the snitch until they at least caught up a couple goals. Which actually...
Thank you. That makes it a lot better.
But actually that makes it a fine game, meaning typically catching the snitch will win you the game if you can do it quickly. But if you're down way too much, now you can't end the game intentionally. So it actually is an interesting strategy then where it's like, if you are losing by 15 goals, you have to make up goals before you can try and catch the snitch.
Without being hyper offensive towards women, like that's a sport that was created by a girl.
Why? What do you mean?
I think the stupid sport where you catch one ball and you get 150 and the game ends. And
so what? What do you mean?
It's like a nonsense game. It's fake excitement for it.
It does place a lot of responsibility on the snitch catcher.
They are on flying brooms.
I know, but like, get rid of the snitch and the game would have been awesome. Right.
I have no problem with that as a game.
I shouldn't say that about the woman that wrote that game because she's a great writer. really like her a lot.
I think the bigger problem is that the whole series is loaded with plot holes and things that make no sense. Like, and then what happens is throughout the book series, it's kind of fine until you get into the Fantastic Beasts, where all of a sudden it's like anyone can apparate, and it's like, okay, then what's the point of the Flu Network? Some people can't. Some people are, she's a maledictus. She turns into a snake. Some people can be transfigured into animals, or they can choose to, and it's really hard to, and it's like...
That's crazy.
Like when Mad Eye turns Draco into a ferret or whatever. It's like, we don't use transfigurations as punishment. But it's like others have to train to be able to do it, but someone could just do it to you. Whatever, man. Like, it's fun. I love the story, but there's so much that's wrong with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do we have? I think I've got some... nope, that's Clickbait Killer. Where are the tweets on this one? Someone said, just realized that when Neville faces the boggart, it's going to look like his biggest fear is a black guy hiding in a closet.
This is just, I mean, it's
funny.
just so ripe
The
for all
part
kinds
that
of
I'm gonna be tripping out on is the fact that
people are pointing out that the little
when
boy who
Harry's
plays Harry
dad,
looks like an old lesbian woman, and I'm like
puts the guy up in the tree and hangs him upside down, like,
whatever.
How you gonna address that?
Which is interesting. So males typically you can't see.
Y'all just created a whole new problem because you guys are making this about race when it really originally in the story it wasn't about that. So
women, you see a lot of it, and actually some women they're called gummy because their lips are thin, and when they smile you can see actually the top layer of gums. So for this little boy to be as highly toothy as he is, many people are saying it's very effeminate. That's why he looks like a woman. But you know, it's a little kid. I'm not here to make fun of little kids or anything like that.
I thought this was an AI, and they got like a little girl that they were going to make a trans boy to be Harry Potter, and they got a black Snape.
Look at this.
I thought it was AI, a parody, and now it's crazy.
And Snape has like dreadlocks because they're like
black.
Well, he has to have long hair somehow.
How is he going to be Snape? Is he going to talk like this? I don't know. Talk like this.
Which is crazy because in the book he was described exactly like the way Alan Rickman looked. That's why he made a perfect Snape.
It's a story about wizards, you know what I mean? The issue is that there's a lot that is fine if it's being done to the gangly white guy, and there's a lot that's very when it's being done to the young black guy, you know? Like they're adding a component of racism. The lens for which this will be viewed is going to be very, very different to a child.
Do you think people are still as up in arms about this sort of thing as they were 10 years ago?
Like race swapping?
Well, or just in general. It seems like back on the Generation Z folks, it seems like they're a little more edgy with the types of jokes and.
Oh yeah. Oh, bro, the race jokes that are flying out about this are nuts.
Yeah.
Dude, the memes are going crazy. They are going to roast this guy based on race.
Yeah.
Like Gen Z is just done playing games.
In the theater, you know, I did 20 years in the theater.
It's
it
so
was
bad.
Race swap or gender swap didn't matter. You know, we were all having fun. You could play a black woman or a white guy. It didn't matter what the character who was.
Avada Kedavra. Thank you. I was like totally stuck on that word.
Require a level of realism. Generally.
So you have to like yell it and point. Oh man,
stuff happening.
I forgot I have a wand. Oh lord.
In theater where it was a fairly
I have like
people that were going.
We went to the Harry Potter
whereas
place.
Nowadays with the
maybe not now, you go there and you can eat and drink like the foods that are from the movies.
The culture in the US
and then you can obviously purchase beer and stuff like that. So I actually had gotten a wand, which is really cool. Now, I think, where did I put it?
I gotta say one last thing before we go to our Discord chat questions. Have you guys seen the lawsuit against the comedian for saying about Lion King?
You know, it's gonna be stuck in my head. I'm gonna just look for my wand and I'm just gonna keep pointing.
So comedian. He's from Africa, I believe.
Although when I did that whole thing where you were trying to see what house you fall in, unfortunately, guys, your girl.
He's like, you know what they're saying? And they're like, what's he saying? He's saying,
you know, she fell into Gryffindor.
Look, it's a lion.
I didn't fall in Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff, and not even Slytherin.
He is correct. He's being sued.
Then again, I'm pretty sure none of you guys are surprised by that.
It doesn't convey the actual regal meaning behind it. And what he said was defamatory, and now he's losing, like he risks losing royalties, and he's doing damage. It's like a $27 million lawsuit. So I said, okay, I'm going to look it up. And guess what the lyrics mean? Look, there's a lion, oh my God. The issue is the word lion also represents royal, like strength and royalty.
Okay.
So it can be translated as look, a great leader, oh my God, or at the same time, look, a lion, oh my God. And that's literally what it means. And then it goes, look, there's a lion, oh my God, yes, that's a lion.
I mean, that guy who did the joke was joking. He wasn't defaming.
No, he's telling the truth. That's actually a direct translation of what it means. And everybody and everybody hears this like Zulu cry in this powerful song, and it feels majestic. And it's just literally like, look, a lion, oh my God. And I looked it up, and it translates to something to that effect.
I never knew it meant anything. I thought they were just chanting.
Gets called another language, Carter.
Remember the song?
How do we pull up the chat here?
Do you guys know the song from Civ 4?
You go to click on the.
Oh, it's right.
Okay, so let me go ahead and put on one of our favorite things that we like to watch, which has to do with Avi like protests. So we're waiting for like the Patriots to come on, if they ever show up, guys. So let's hear any shenanigans. You know, one thing I don't like is that these people bring their dogs and then they want to complain when something happens to their dogs, you know, and that's so annoying.
I don't want that to be around for years.
So let's see.
I do. I like it in chalk, but if I was saying if it's going to be in paint, I'd rather it not be like random tagging. I'd rather it be something like this. It's actually, because I live here, you know?
It's not even permanent paint. It'll last through 3 to 4 rain cycles.
Okay. What was here before?
Wow, 3 to 4 rain cycles.
I thought it was just chalk, actually.
Nope.
It was paint
Same
too?
style. Yep.
Okay. Well, cool.
Combination, the
Someone actually has a live recording DUI site. Ugh, you know what? I used to hate that. In Chicago when I used to live there. They always had like certain sites, and it's so messed up.
We love TriMet!
They would have like cones, and you wouldn't even realize it because once you get under the underpass or overpass, whatever you want to call it,
if I'm somewhere else out here, they often will.
You would be like going into one line, and then you're not able to turn, and you're like, crap, because you're stuck in there. And that's when they would do not only DUI checks, but they would do like registration checks, insurance checks, you know, your tags as well. And it's like, man, the way so many people got caught up was crazy. And this is before internet, okay? And so when internet kind of became a thing, you would see people starting to, and when cell phones started becoming a thing where you would actually have like these cell phones where you would text where you have to like press the button a couple times. You would be getting texts from people or looking on the internet, and you'd be seeing people on MySpace saying, hey, watch out, you know, this area, you know, they're giving you checkpoints and stuff like that. But yeah, crazy.
Breaking out the chemicals.
No chemicals that I've seen, but I've only been here 20 minutes.
Oh, well, I haven't been out here since Tuesday, and between now and then, they got permission to do it again.
I think they're saving it all for tomorrow.
I would love to see that. I have no beef with ICE doing that.
Got control. What's in the box? Nah, I don't do that. I'm a guy with too many medical issues. Even if they're not just arresting anybody hard that crosses that line, I don't do it.
At least he's smart, guys.
You do what you can do out here, and don't do what you can't. If any of these guys want to cross the blue line, I mean, I'm happy to cheer them on, and cheer them on again if they come out after them from behind.
If let's stare at a dog.
Because sometimes they get away. And I do not mind that. We're all domestic terrorists for the crime of trespassing, stepping in a driveway.
I mean, you are.
These guys aren't even fucking serious.
If that's what you were doing. Man, funny how he like talks all this smack because nobody's there to like check him.
It's hard to take them seriously.
Okay, bro.
in it or something. So he was yelling, "What's it?"
Lemon pound cake.
Exactly. That was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, these people are
I
weird.
see what it was.
Could go through a window.
So anyway, if you appreciate me being out here, please do the like thing. I don't monetize this channel, and I don't really want to. There's a Venmo link if you want to actually help out.
Oops. Like, how about no, dude?
Thank you
How
to
about
the
no?
person who already has. One person did.
Like, okay, bro. So there's like two at the Portland ice facility that we're looking at, which are on top of each other, one on top of the other. The one next to the one of the Portland ice facility, the little box that you're gonna see right now, that one is actually Los Angeles, California. Apparently, they're doing a Tesla diner protest for Elon and anti-Elon protest. So it's like, what? It don't make sense, but I didn't know we were still protesting against like Elon at this point. I thought people already got over it, you know? But apparently not. Apparently people are still raging about it. So we'll see, we'll see. It's usually like I said, because none of the Patriots are there, it's probably gonna be a boring night, guys. I think once people start going there, that's when it'll probably get a little more spicy at that point. I know one of the lives that we were watching one time, oh my god, it was crazy because like they actually started getting rowdy with each other. So yeah, that one was a spicy night. But we'll see how it goes tonight, guys. Now, for those of you here, have you seen because there's a thing going on with the meteors that are coming down again. That's why I was watching the video earlier with you guys. But right now, a lot of people are freaking out about that. So I wasn't sure if you guys like seen anything. So I would definitely want your guys' take on it and what you think of the supposed meteors or like lights that they're seeing in the sky. Now I have seen some good theories that they were saying like, what if it's us shooting down like drones that are coming to attack the United States. Others said it was like maybe practice drills for us, you know, who knows. And then some people are saying like, yeah, it could have been like real aliens, you know. I don't think they would want to come down and visit us, to be honest. Like, I know I wouldn't. I'd probably, if I was an alien, I'd probably do what you normally see in movies where they're like, like lock their doors, roll up them windows. Because, you know, they don't want to get, you know, I guess jacked by people. It looks like there's a couple people out, which once it starts filling up, you'll get more and more people, which is crazy. I don't see anybody going live just yet. I'm going to check their actual sites. Because usually they'll put a notification up like, oh, going live at 9 or 8 or yada yada.
Stones and see a rabbit. Oh yeah, I put a sealant over it. It's really harder for them to take that.
It looks like these guys haven't put anything to say that they're going live. And we definitely need more people to go on the ground to go live so that we can kind of make our numbers known, you know? Like I say, guys, if we like, if they bring 5, we bring 10. If they bring 10, we bring 30 or 15. You know, I think we really need to start kind of picking up our ground game. And I definitely am not just putting that on other people. Like, I want to go out and go on the ground. I definitely need to make sure I have gear before I do that because, you know, the left is kind of crazy and I need to protect myself because I'm still such a small channel and I don't have security. So I have to figure out like getting security and going down there and, you know, in case something happens, girl gotta have herself covered.
This is not the right chat for you. I have a feeling this is not an Ice Love chat. I think you're probably looking for Tommy Boy or one of them. This ain't their stream.
No, it's not.
Likes everyone.
It looks like we're just gonna have nothing but lefties on at this point. Like people on the left that are streaming at the Portland Ice facility. It doesn't look like we're gonna have any Patriots coming down. At least not yet, from what I'm noticing. Unless you guys know something I don't know, let me know. I'll check X because sometimes they be streaming off of X instead of YouTube or Rumble. So we'll go ahead and check those too. See if we see any shenanigans going on. Yeah, I don't see anybody. X. Let me search for it. I was on X right now and I was looking and I just saw like a bunch of people dressed as sheep. It's like, what? Y'all are so weird. Yeah, so far nothing. So far it's just nothing but the left that's kind of out there doing their thing. Which I'm not surprised because they're usually the ones out there, you know? Let's see if this see anything.
I think one of these may become like a lapel pin on my frog costume.
Frog costume. He's an inflatable. I'm telling you guys, I really think that ICE has some type of jammer at their facility. Because people stream always be like hourglassing on me. So right now we got Integra DIY, we have Another Taco, we have PDX Ice Facility live stream, and then pretty soon we'll have Pretend Media. So yeah, we'll see what shenanigans these people get into, if any. So guys, what is your thoughts on what's going on right now with Putin and, you know, China, do you think they're going to step in for, you know, to protect Iran? I know that some people were speculating that the stuff that's going on in Ukraine, that Ukraine is purposely trying to trigger Article 5 by kind of aiming things a certain way so that Russia could purposely hit one of the NATO places. So we have that situation. Not sure about Iran though. I don't know if they're going to have backup or not because they don't have the same thing that we have with NATO. BRICS is not technically that way. BRICS is more monetary, so kind of see where that takes us. All I know is I know China's just laying in wait right now. They're just sitting there watching everything, and they're like, "Come on, come on, someone do something." You know, they're like, "We need America distracted because we need to go over there and take Taiwan." And then y'all heard about the Chinese people that for CCP, the spies that got taken. You know, I think the girl got arrested, the sister, for like hiding or assisting the brother, and the brother fled back to China. So, kill me, God. So we had that situation going on with the Chinese spies. So yeah, we're everywhere right now. Yep, pretty boring today, guys. Pretty boring. See, now they're all hour gassing. I'm really hoping it has nothing to do with me in the storms. But sometimes I'd be having storms, or like, you know, when you live in the middle of nowhere, sometimes you get like a wind blowing or a tree branch, and all of a sudden, pff, internet out. So I'm gonna put this video on because right now nothing happening. I'll go back to them in a minute. But this is in regards to Putin,
market conditions are shaping up
who's
in
talking
such a
about
way
emergency
that if we
address World
reorient
War III fear
ourselves right
skyrocket
now
amid Middle
toward
East
those
oil
markets that
crisis.
need increased supplies,
So yeah,
we can establish ourselves there
let's
now.
see what this is
That
gonna
is,
tell us.
in places where there is sustainable long-term demand and reliable long-term relationships.
And I swear that guy looks
To
like he
those
never
states
ages.
that are building constructive business relations with Russia. By the way, I asked you to come in order to consult with you on all these matters. If European companies, European buyers, should suddenly decide to reorient themselves and provide us with long-term, sustainable joint work, free from political considerations, please, we have never refused. We are ready to work with Europeans as well, but we need some signals from them that they are ready and also want to work and will ensure us this stability and predictability. The government is keeping these matters under control as well. Now, on all these matters, I hope we will have a substantive conversation. Please, I give the floor to Alexander Valentinovich Novik. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I asked you to gather today in order to talk about the situation developing on the world energy markets in the area of ours. And I would like to hear your opinion on the events taking place, to consult with you on how we should coordinate the efforts of the state and our private companies in connection with the events taking place. We will also discuss in this regard Russia's further actions in the field of global energy in general, including taking into account the escalation of the situation as we understand it in the Middle Eastern direction. Russia has repeatedly, I would like to note right away, warned that attempts to destabilize the situation in the Middle East would inevitably put the global fuel and energy complex under threat, raise prices for oil and gas, limit the supply of these resources around the world, and would certainly disrupt long-term investment plans.
I believe it's to
It
make
appears
the
that this is
petrodollar
exactly what
come
is
back.
happening.
I think it was starting
Today
to
we
like
see
go down, and so
logistical
I
problems
think that's
on
why
the
they're doing that,
routes
but
for
who
transporting
knows?
hydrocarbons. And we see that this is having the most negative impact on global production, on global supply chains. It is hitting industry, all of it, in essence, without any exaggeration, the entire system of international economic relations, because following the disruption of supplies come other problems of a purely economic nature. Inflation rises, and production not only of oil and gas, but also the production of industrial goods suffers. I will remind you that last year about 1/3 of the world's maritime oil exports passed through the Strait of Hormuz, which is around 14 million barrels per day. Of these, about 80% were directed to the countries of the Asia-Pacific region. This route is now effectively closed. Oil production that is tied to the use of the strait risks coming to a complete halt within the next month.
Now, I
It
don't
has
know about
already
you
begun.
guys, but I don't trust anything any of these guys are saying. You know, like, we don't know who's being honest with us and who's lying to us, guys. So I think, like, everything they're telling us, we need to take it with maybe a grain of salt, or more so, like, maybe watch their actions, because they could say whatever they want, but we have to watch what their actions are telling us, you know? Because we don't know who's being honest with us, whether it's our government, the Chinese government, you know, Russia, you know, yada yada. You know, we have to kind of wait and see. I wanted to play this video for you guys. This is from Black Scout Survival. They're not telling you this yet, so let's go ahead and watch this vid.
Something is happening right now, and the average American is scrolling TikTok, Instagram, or arguing in comment sections. They have no idea what kind of pressure is building underneath the surface, and it's not normal. You've got Iran threatening shipping lanes, okay? You've got talks of cutting undersea Ethernet cables.
Oh, snap.
You got oil routes tightening through the Strait of Hormuz. Even somewhere so is that $2 million for a single entry. Crazy things are happening right now. And right on cue, you've got financial elites warning about global recession. It's not a coincidence. A little bit of pressure, a little bit of, hey man, this is what's coming, get ready for it, okay? Now, let me break this down for you like a crayon eater and not a news anchor. I've been saying this, 20% of the world's oil flows through that narrow corridor. One choke point,
Strait of Hormuz.
You disrupt that, you don't just raise gas prices, you destabilize supply chains, food distribution, energy grids, entire economy.
I think that's why everybody's like freaking out, because
everything gets expensive.
Gas prices are going to go through the roof.
And people will get desperate.
Yep. Now, he's not the only one saying it.
You got guys like Larry Fink.
I watched this other person named Canadian Prepper. He has a channel called Prepper News.
Recession.
He also talks a lot about what's going on, and he's pretty good at predictions based off the information he's been given.
A threat to the Straits of Hormuz. Then I would argue that we could have years of, above $100, closer to $150 oil.
What happens to the global economy if that happens? How do we see it?
We'll have global recession.
Yeah, no shit. But here's what matters. Guys like that don't just predict the storm. They position themselves before it hits. So the question isn't, is recession coming? The question is, who benefits when it does? A lot of other folks are speaking about this as well, not just Larry Fink. Larry Fink is the CEO of BlackRock. But anyway, Iran war puts global energy markets on the brink of worst case scenario. So Most Americans have no idea. They are in a few different camps. One, they're, hey man, let's, Trump said we need to go in here and send ground troops. Then you have people that's like, kind of like, do we really need another war? And then you have the other faction that's saying, man, gas is very expensive. What else is going to increase in my cost of living? How does this impact the entire global system? Because it's not just America, okay? Now, Trump says the Strait of Hormuz doesn't bother America. He said it yesterday.
We don't need the Hormuz Strait. We don't need it. We don't need it at all. We have so much oil. Our country is not affected by this. We have more.
Really? This is a man that's probably never pumped gas in his life, obviously.
We have twice the amount of oil as Saudi Arabia or Russia, and soon it'll be 3 times the amount. Chris, do you want to think?
I think he's saying that because of the stuff that was going on with Venezuela, because we got that oil back. So that could be the reason he's saying that, but who knows, guys?
Donnie, why the hell is my gas so high then?
We don't need the Hormuz Strait. We don't need it.
Why are we even trying to fight him then for it?
We don't need it at all. We have so much oil. Our country is not affected by this. We have.
Donnie, you're out of touch with reality, buddy. You're sounding like Dementia Joe. It's not affected. You're losing your complete base because of this. Like the ones that were still staggering and QAnon, trust the plan, 40 chess, they're like jumping ship now because they're like,
not really.
It cost me $150 to fill up my gas tank.
You still have some loyalists.
I think because he says it. Now there's probably some boomers that are believing that. They're like, oh yeah, man, it's not affecting me.
Now CNN did a poll, and this is why I'm quoting it, because it was CNN who did this poll. Literally 100%, like when they're saying like, oh, they're losing MAGA or whatever. Literally, they polled these people and they said 100% of them still approve of Trump. They're still, hardcore Trumpers. And 0 disproved. And when you got like independents, that's where you're getting these numbers from, or like you're getting the more higher disapproval rating. Definitely from the Democrats, super high. Like they're probably the opposite scale of MAGA. So I think like it's hard to say that, oh yeah, you're having all these people walk away from you. No, you're not. But what we are seeing are all the grifters that are walking away, that are seeing like they're kind of trying to jump ship now. And they're trying to play like, oh, I'm independent, or I'm just a Republican. I'm not MAGA. I'm not for Trump. All of a sudden, they're turning their backs because, I guess it's not going to make them money. So they're trying to move on to something else. Who knows, guys? Who knows?
Maybe because they don't drive cars. I don't know. But logical, normal, everyday Americans, especially most Americans, have to transit 30 to 40 minutes to their place of work. That's just statistically. You're talking about middle class, and it's already struggling from COVID era price increase on everything that never came back down. Never did. Supposed to just be during that time because, oh man, things are tight. But when the big corporations that's homies with people like Donald Trump, they're like, dude, let's keep the prices up, man. We're getting rich. Yeah, keep doing it, bro. The peasants, let them pay for it. That's how it is. Okay. Now, if you layer this in, talks of cutting an undersea internet cables. Most people don't even know this exists. Guys, that's how the internet actually works. So Iran is talking about chopping them. It's not right off satellites, it's right off cables on the ocean floor. You hit those, you don't just lose Instagram, you disrupt financial transactions, military communications, and global data flow. You will create confusion, right? And what does confusion and chaos lead to? One thing, and that's control. You notice the trend here. Maybe the elites aren't so disappointed that gas is going up and that food is going to become unattainable. Houses are. Nobody's even buying a house anymore. That's That's a unicorn. All food's going to become unattainable. Oh, man. They don't care. So when cost of living is so astronomical, you got confusion because internet is gone. Oh, we can put a control system in place to protect you. You ever notice how they never, like, it doesn't matter who's president or who's in Congress, none of that matters. You notice that they never give you more money back. Now, they'll give you a little check every now and again, like a little check, like the Doge or whatever's supposed to happen. They'll give you that, but a lot of people don't understand this. This is what they do with that, because most people who get that, $1,000, $2,000 check, they immediately go spend it. So all it is a transfer of money back to the elites. Okay, it's not. If a normal American took that money, held it, maybe invested it, made money off of it, it could benefit them. But truly, any of those checks really don't incentivize any of the people, because they're immediately given back to the global elites or corporations. They may go buy some Nikes, maybe a Green Egg grill, put a down payment on a boat. Everything's going back. It's just cycling it through back to the elites. So anytime they do that, but they never give you more money, okay? And they never give you more freedom. You ever notice that? It's never that. It's always usually more control. We're going to spy on you a little bit more. We're going to take a little bit more of your money for taxes or tariffs or something. It's always taking more rights and more money for you. It's like the tax IRS is a scam. It's a scam. They can make money. They put zeros in the system. Why do they need to take your money? Because it's a way to control you. A lot of people haven't figured that out yet. Anyway, you think they're really building roads with your money? Come on. Now, let me tell you where something gets interesting here. This actually just came out during the same time all this talk's going on. Now, if you didn't know, first, let me go back. Larry Fink and Donald Trump are friends, okay? BlackRock. He brought him on during the pandemic relief board, okay? Google if you don't believe me, to help him with the economy. BlackRock, that evil overlords that own everything in the world. But if that was not bad enough for you, you got Donald Trump now stacking Technology Council, okay? He's got guys like Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Fink, Jensen Huang. Let me say that again. These are the same people that were accused of censorship, narrative control, and algorithm management and manipulation, right? Look at this. Today, we welcome the first wave of extraordinary members to President Trump's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology. And please, guys, the 4D chess guys, let me know how this Mark Zuckerberg good now. Rooted in the tradition of FDR, began in 1933, the PCAST unites America's brightest minds to advise the president of the most pressing national issues in science and technology. Under POTUS, PCAST will focus on opportunities and challenges that emerging technologies present to the American worker and how to best ensure the U.S. continues to lead in the golden age of innovation. You see these names here. Mark Zuckerberg, a bunch of evil overlords. Yes. So now they're being positioned to help guide national tech policy. Bill Gates and him, friends, too, they're doing the vaccines together. He invested in the ballroom. So did Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg good now. It's not a conspiracy. I just showed you guys. It's public information. Larry Ellison of Oracle, man. If you don't know what Oracle is, right? Oracle Corporation in your mix. Most people think that it's just some boring tech company. Wrong. Oracle doesn't run your bank. They run systems your bank runs on. Databases, cloud infrastructure, government contracts, the pipes, the backbone, digital nervous system. Their founder, Larry Ellison, has been tied into, obviously, the Central Intelligence Agency. So when you see him sitting at the table, it's not just a tech guy. He is infrastructure. And then we have NVIDIA. Everybody knows them for their graphic cards and so on. Gaming. Yep. That's the old world. New world is AI. Every major AI system, government, military, corporate, runs on NVIDIA chips. And the guy behind it is Jensen Huang. He's not just building some kind of hardware, he's building the infrastructure of artificial intelligence. So when you see NVIDIA at the table as well, it's not about gaming. It's about who powers the systems that analyze data, track behavior, and automate decisions. Then you throw in Mark Zuckerberg, who runs Facebook, aka Lifelong, that was developed by DARPA. Did you know that LifeLog was shut down the exact same day? Some nerdy kid in his dorm room designed the exact thing that was LifeLog and then named it Facebook. The goal was to obviously track everything about a person's life: communications, purchases, location, social interactions, what media they're consuming. Basically, a digital record of your entire existence. Yeah, LifeLog, aka Facebook. So let's connect the dots like grown men. War, pressure, economic instability, public fear that demands for stability, right? What solves that? Centralized control. Digital systems, programmable systems, and you see where that goes. Now, let's talk about the CBDC angle for a minute, the control mechanism, right? This is where they come into play. The trajectory of it. System breaks. They don't rebuild the old one. They replace it with something tighter, trackable, right? Mark of the beast, controllable. Your money can be monitored, restricted, or shut off. Oh, man,
My back's going back down now, guys. Sorry.
You made a nasty post on Facebook. You're not able to spend any money this
They
week.
like to complain on their way out.
That's the direction, man. Maybe not tomorrow, but it's definitely the groundwork was being laid right now. And then we got the son-in-law, Jared Kushner. Guess what? Jared Kushner's under investigation for $5 billion in foreign deals. Wow.
He said, night, chat. Night.
Yeah. Money flowing from the Middle East, Qatar. Same region now. And obviously the other one too. He gets a little bit from. People say I'm going to go to that in a second. Okay. Our chosen ally, right? They're saying our chosen ally and Qatar. He's getting money from both. Saudis too. So the same region that has all this global instability, right? Where there's power, there's always money though. And where there's money, there's always influence. There's been a lot said about Kushner. Okay. Number one, intelligence disputes, centers of Kushner's reference and intercepted communication. Tulsi Gabbard, she basically shut down intercepted communication about Iran involving Kushner. Weird. What's that guy got to do with Iran? Trump's son-in-law also invited Jeffy Eppy to the 2013 Observer Party. Emails show. Yeah, I bet you didn't know he was tight with Jeffy Eppy. Trump was too, though. I mean, he was friends for 15 years, I guess, so it's no surprise. Oh, man. I talked about this before, but they're saying Kushner is daggum Masada. Okay, that's what they're saying per the Jeffy Eppy files. Who knows? Who knows? And if you're still arguing about left and right versus right, Republican versus Democrat, you lost the plot. You lost the plot, man. What you're actually watching is a consolidation. Okay. Control pressure. Both of them working together. Truthfully.
Crazy.
Right? And just so you know, breaking. Sending another 10.
Yeah, I saw this where they were talking about Trump. They're kind of weighing their options. And then I know that right now in the Senate, they passed like a really quick bill. And then they, of course, as always, went on vacation and recessed. And then they threw it back at the House, which is stupid because John Thune just ruined everything by, caving to the Democrats for this. And I think it's funny because they're always talking about, like, we're not going to fund ICE, we're not going to fund ICE. But ICE is fully funded till 2029. Like, that's just stupid when they try to bring that up. But yeah, so they're talking, so they went on vacation and they threw it back at the House, and now the House has to fix John Thune's crazy, like, ball drop. So now they have to do, I think, like, some type of, because they're not going to pass that. So they're going to have to redo it and create a clean bill to send through, which is crazy. But in that bill, it did include this stuff what Pete Hegseth was saying that he wanted to include, which was more funding and in regards to the troops and stuff like that. So we'll see where that takes us. Now, I did want to kind of go back to the protest because, you know, so we could kind of have other things to look at. Nothing much happening at the ICE facility. I was trying to pay attention and trying to see if the Patriots got anything going on, but haven't seen anything just yet, guys. But this is what's going on right now in Portland. It's pretty like laid back right now. I think it's mainly because we don't have anybody out right now. So I think personally that's why it's pretty chill and quiet. But then again, it's also Friday, and usually on Fridays, not much be happening. There's stuff that pops off more on Fridays than it does on any other day of the week. Like if you're watching this like on a Monday, Tuesday, oh man, it's hella boring. But Fridays and Thursdays tend to be a little bit more, I guess you would say, exciting. But yeah, so right now this is what's going on. All the lefties, loonies are out right now, so you don't really have anybody on the right out. But we still like to kind of keep an eye on what they're doing, just so that we know what's going on with them, what their mindset is. I like to have this like idea of kind of keeping an eye on people, just so we can know what they're thinking. You know, I don't like, you know, just getting like news from one side of the aisle. I think it's really important for you to get it from both sides. At least that's just my opinion. But yeah, I've been checking and searching and nothing is going on, guys. Like, nobody's out. Just the lefty, as always. I feel like they just like to go out just to go out, you know, to see if they can stir up trouble. But we have, in case you didn't realize this, what we have going on here is we got, so the two big ones are the Portland facility, the one with the bike, obviously, that's also Portland. Then the other one on the far bottom right is the Los Angeles, California protest. It's an anti-Elon protest, which
and they never answered.
I didn't even know we were still doing this. Like, I thought we were already over this whole Elon situation, but apparently not, guys. Apparently not.
Like, both of their statements seem like they're not very good at speaking or writing.
I just feel bad that the dog's there because I don't want nothing happening to animals. I'm a big animal lover, so in case you guys didn't realize it. I myself have 3 dogs, and y'all know one of my dogs, she's a husky. The other 2 are Chicos, which is a mix between a beagle and a chihuahua. And then we have 3 cats. One is like, she looks like an Egyptian cat. She's completely black. Her name is Nembi, short for Nebula. And then we have my other 2 cats, which are bow tie cats, where they're all black, and then they have like this white part right here. We were told that's what they were called. And then we have our chickens and ducks. Now we're hoping to eventually get like I'm trying to convince people here. I'm trying to get goats. I wanted a cow or even a miniature cow, but once I heard that I would have to gas it myself, I'm like, yeah, no. Plus, goats are so cute. If y'all haven't seen goats, you should look up goat videos. Like, especially when they faint, it's hilarious. Like, at first when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, are they okay? And then it just turned out that that's just a thing they do, which is really, really weird.
It's cracking me up how much they screw themselves over on that stuff.
And I know these guys are upset because they said that ICE gets to use, like, their, I guess, chemical weapons against them.
They almost never honk if you're over in the driveway, but if you're over here or over there, they often will. But no, what I would really like to have is, I mean, I've got literally a plate carrier. It doesn't quite fit, but I'm looking at a larger one. Because I've actually got the plate because Shit's gonna get more dangerous out here before
I'm telling you guys, once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I will promise you guys this. I will head out on the ground to one of these protests for you guys. So I'm hoping, guys, I'm hoping we can hit that number.
I mean, I figure it would be the ice holes, not the chuds, but either way, I mean, if somebody's going to be shooting at us.
Why? Why?
Less disciplined. I've been more worried about since the tear gas has stopped because of how.
If anything, if I was them, I'd be worried more about terrorist attacks, not like the Patriots.
They're less trained, but I don't know.
You can conceal if you are, you know, well, of course a lot of them have.
Sorry, my cat Nebula, she's like trying to crawl under my desk. She's so cute.
They're not allowed to carry loaded if they're open carrying in Portland.
She's always like running away when I try to grab her. She makes this cute little like sound when she runs. And she's so cute because she's so pitch black and then she has these really pretty eyes. But if you see my male cat, oh my god, he's adorable. He has like this pink little nose, and
you know,
his eyes are like, I think like, I want to say a green.
This guy gets on and he's
Let's see if I can grab her.
You know, like hunting camo, and I'm like, okay, you know, that's normal. Outdoor Portland's got a lot of outdoor people, and
this is
but I
Nebby.
can see right there at 5:30.
But yeah, she's super black. Look at her.
Hip, right in the
Look at how cute she is.
I know.
You're so pretty.
I know what that means. But hey, I never worried.
He's like, why did you grab me?
And, you know, responsible. I don't care. But yeah, I actually carried pocket, so holster, but pocket holster.
Pocket holster. You know what?
That's
Debbie, we're gonna go.
As far as these guys,
you'll be my weapon of choice.
But no, I'd actually like to have, you know, the plate carrier set up with some medical supplies for me.
She keeps like rubbing herself on me. So funny. She's in a very loving mood today.
You guys ever need to know? Right front pocket. I mean, I wear sweatpants, so only pocket. Right pocket is my inhaler.
Is that albuterol?
Yes.
Okay.
Just albuterol.
I'll keep that.
Good, Nebby.
Someone.
She just came to bother me. I'm like, girl, I need my night snack before we go and you do your thing.
I mean, the thing is, I would like to actually carry an extra albuterol and, you know, just in case.
I'm not saying I do.
Ah!
And unfortunately, I don't actually have any allergies that are severe enough for me to carry an EpiPen, but I do know how to use them.
I mean, it's not hard to use an EpiPen. You just like grab it and go into the leg or whatever.
I am, yeah.
Well, at least that's what mine used to be.
At least got an email from Jeremy last week that in a couple of weeks they're going to have a meeting because apparently a downtown net has dissolved. So
yes.
Jeremy with PBEM is going to try and get things going.
Let me let you go, Nebby.
And I used to live down there, so I know some of the people. So
you done playing?
I've been inactive for years, but I'll help.
I think she's done giving all her love.
Reactivated, that's fine. And,
okay, Nebby, we're gonna let you go, Nebby. Say bye. Say bye. Nebby, say bye.
They'll pay for me to take. I'd like to take wilderness medicine, and an in-person stop the bleed would be.
Now she's gonna go and cause mischief. Her fur is like all over my face.
And I should be active in netting.
I could feel it.
Throughout the pandemic, I was just.
There she goes.
I couldn't.
My husky likes to like play with her. Like my other cat, she doesn't like to play with because she'd be swiping at her. And so my husky tends to kind of walk like tiptoe around that cat. But Nebby, my dog likes to chase her because she'll play with her. Like it's weird to see them play together. Yes, I'm talking about you.
Lacey has it's got the hands are integrated. But
She just, my husky just woke up from her nap. If y'all don't know her name is Kara, short for Kara Zor-El. So as you can tell, I have a theme going with my pet names. They're all like either DC or Marvel characters.
Onto the ends of the, so that way I'll have the hands I can actually take off. So I'll be able to hold onto my cane. Still won't be able to
touch camera stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
Move things up and down for short people like myself.
Short people.
Well, I mean,
okay,
I'm actually going to use my my little tripod tomorrow. But I'm going to.
I was trying to see if I can go live during the day for you guys and see how that works out on the weekend. Usually on the weekend, I kind of try and get catch up on all the news, and then I gotta do homework, and then kind of run errands. Sometimes I'll jump on here and do breaking stories that happen over the weekend as well.
One of these. The one that Nathan has doesn't.
But it looks like it's gonna be one of those nights, guys. I think we're just gonna kind of call it a night, because ain't nothing happening. The preachers aren't there. I think they're gonna probably just go out on Saturday, and that's probably why they're not out and about right now. So we're gonna just leave it there. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. And don't forget to share. And I will see you guys in the next stream. Have a great night.
Time's up, my little heathens. Harley's gotta cause more trouble. Thanks for the chaos.